Hello everyone, and welcome back to another public live stream. So this is obviously live on YouTube for everyone to see, not just the premium Discord members. This will be now the third week running that we have done a Wednesday night public live stream on YouTube. So thank you for joining. Let me just bring up the chat here on my phone. But yes, thanks for joining. We have got quite a bit to get through. Quite a lot of news to talk over, as well as some tweets I want to show you, just the usual, and then chat a little bit about where the market is, where it's going, what's happening. It seems to have kind of slowed down a little bit today in the past 2 days, I suppose. So let's chat about that. Any questions you do have, please drop them in the live chat. Someone will be able to answer them if I don't answer them. But yeah, how's everyone feeling? Everyone well? Sorry I was a few minutes late there, but I am ready to go. Let me just make sure we have this ready. Yeah, perfect, I can see the chat. Okay, cool, just wanted to make sure that I could see what was going on. And the volume's okay? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So thanks everyone for tuning in. If you are a Discord member, you will have already had a live stream on Monday, as we do two live streams per week, but one live stream for Discord members. And if you're not a Discord member and you're tuning in from YouTube or from our Instagram page, then welcome. This is not our first live. We do this every single week, and we have done for about 2 years now, whether that's been on Instagram Live or on YouTube Live. But hello and welcome to anyone that has just came across us. So as always then, we will get some chat going in regards to the Instagram page, anything changing on there, move into the prices, and then we'll work through some of the news articles that I've found from today and from the past few days. So first and foremost, if you are new, make sure you check us out on the our main kind of website, which is simply just ccgla.co.uk. You'll see here all links you'll find from our Instagram anyway, which is much easier to find. So on the Instagram page then, let's just bring it up. So first and foremost, we do have the giveaway still live, so make sure that if you haven't entered that, or even if you have entered that, go enter again and again and again. So you can enter once per day, so you can literally enter, well, how many weeks? Another 2 weeks to go, I think it is, before the live draw is complete. So you've got another 14 entries potentially. Just make sure you're following the guidelines on how to enter, and make sure you do that, like I said, once per day, but you can enter for another 14 times if you like. So make sure that you get involved. It's free to do so, and you're going to win an absolute belter of a package. And then if you are a Discord member, you get an additional £500 given to you as well, simply for being a Discord member. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave that one with you, but check us out, crypto.glasgow on Instagram. If you haven't checked us out already, make sure you drop us a follow and check out some of our content. Okay, so prices. Let's cancel that and let's refresh. Make sure we're getting the most up-to-date prices. Now, last week, if you joined us last Wednesday, obviously I spoke a little bit about as I always do, but spoke a little bit about the market cap and how it was getting back above the $2 trillion mark. Well, since then, we have shot way further than the 2 trillion. So let's just see, when was last Wednesday? So 29, 27, yeah, way back here. We're looking down, it was just crossed the 2 trillion, and now we're way up 2.5, not 2.5, sorry, I wish it was 2.5, 2.2, almost reaching the 2.3 at some point in the past few days. But yeah, market cap's looking good. The whole market is still looking good, to be honest. Obviously, we've seen a bit of a pullback, but not really, because Bitcoin's still holding up, nearly at $48,000. So it's a very interesting time in the market, shall we say. So the past week on Bitcoin, you've seen it hit 48k. It really, literally since our last live stream, it's moved from 42 to 48 within a kind of 5-day period. So looking very, very good. And I think it all kind of broke out from like the kind of Thursday, Friday. So just a few days after the previous live. So interesting to see. But we'll still go over the prices nonetheless. So Bitcoin, in, like I said, sitting just below 48,000. So we're looking at 47,676 currently. Ethereum's been performing again really, really well, up at almost 3,500. You've then got BNB at 448. XRP sitting at 87 cents. That managed to get to about 90 cents the past few days, but it has since kind of rejected that and bounced back a little. Luna has been on an absolute tear recently, up at $111. Solana, 124. Cardano, 122. Again, still performing really, really well the past week. And then lastly, Polkadot has managed to get back into the top 10 at $22 or $23 basically. So all is looking quite good in terms of the top 10. We tend to look at the top 10 mostly at the start, but I'll have a quick scroll through just to see if there's any more kind of top performers. Now VeChain was, I posted about this today in Discord. VeChain the past week has up 50%, and then another one we had posted about was Zilliqa, which was up about 200%, I think it was the past week, something like that. Yeah, so the past week Zilliqa is up 236%. So again, if you are a member, you'll know these are big projects, holdings of ours, both VeChain and Zilliqa. Been holding them for quite a time now, and got in even lower than this, so it's nice to see the prices kind of come back a bit. Still quite down from their all-time highs, but the point being that if you look over it at even a 3-month period, let's make it a 6-month period, like most things, it's not really done much since October, November. It was fairly high back then, but now we've broke out and kind of cleared all of the losses, if you could call it that. We've kind of cleared all the losses that we've had between the November time period and now. So another good one in the top 100 at least. But yeah, so there's not much more. Even, I mean, earlier today it was maybe looking a bit better, but you're still seeing some decent kind of prices or percentage increases across the board. So very, very good looking crypto. So on that note then, crypto sentiment. So I feel like the past, maybe literally the past 48 hours, I would say, I feel like the sentiment isn't as much of a buzz as it was on social media. So the reason for that, it's the same old story. You tend to find is when prices are going mad and everything's popping off and doing 10, 20, 30% in a day, then everyone turns back to being bullish. And then if it is stagnant for a few days, or it goes down by a couple of thousand or something, $1,000 that is, then people tend to kind of flip bearish quite quick. So a lot of these people are very emotional in the market and with their holdings. So I don't know how they keep up with themselves, how they can switch from bearish to bullish to bearish to bullish. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So from us, for our standpoint anyway, we're still bullish as ever, of course. Same story applies. Now that Bitcoin has closed above the kind of 47 and a bit $1,000 on Sunday for the weekly close, that kind of helps confirm that we're not in the all clear, of course. We're not definitely off to the races, because as you can see, there's a bit of kind of consolidation happening now, which is normal. But the fact that we closed above that is kind of what we wanted to see. We definitely didn't want to see it reject those levels. If we did see it reject those levels, then it was pretty much game over for Bitcoin and the rest of the market, I suppose, because Bitcoin does kind of take the whole market with it. But it didn't. So positive news, hence why you've seen such a price increase the past few days, because on Sunday we seen the weekly close, also the highest price Bitcoin has seen in 2022. So I guess that's fairly exciting. I know it's not quite an all-time high, it's not quite 69,000, but it's an all-time high for 2022, and it was also the highest weekly close of this year as well. So it's taken us 3 months, but we've got there. Now the monthly close is obviously coming up soon as well. So I want to see that. So the monthly close will be tomorrow, and yeah, that's again another exciting time. But the fact that we closed in the weekly so positively and so high, then the monthly will look hopefully just as good, and we will get a slight pump, because we tend to see that, don't we? We tend to see a bit of a pump on a Sunday, and that's because the markets are about to close for the weekly candle. So I mean, literally every single week. Without doubt, it pretty much moves like that. So yeah, it's positive. We'll see what the monthly close is like, and then we'll continue with the weekly close on Sunday again. Hopefully we can hold these levels that we're at just now, and yeah, we're probably in for a bit more consolidation, but better that than going down. So positive all round from me. Okay, cool. So let's move on to some news then. So as ever, these streams tend to go, if you have just joined us, we do tend to cover off a bit of the price and top 10, a bit of the market sentiment, and then we move into the news and some tweets that I've seen. So we'll do that now. We'll cover off some news articles, and yeah, hopefully you take something from it. You might have heard the news already. Might be. I do try and pick news that hasn't really been about on YouTube today. I do try and pick stuff that I'm more interested in, just as a personal point of view. But also, if there's major news articles, then I will obviously cover them as well. Right. Okay, so first things first. As you all know, I'm a huge fan of Dubai. So I do like to, somehow the past few weeks I've managed to squeeze in some Dubai news pretty much every week, as well as on the Instagram page. In fact, I actually posted something today regarding Dubai, where Bybit and Crypto.com have announced offices in Dubai as well. So go check that out if you haven't. So the headline being then, Dubai Cafe accepts cryptocurrency as payment, and the owner hints at paying employee salaries in crypto. So not huge news for the price, however, it's Dubai news, and it's about getting paid or potentially paid in crypto and accepting crypto. So let's see then. So a Dubai-based cafe, Bake and More, has become the latest company to add cryptocurrency as another payment option available to customers. Despite taking a step, Bake and More will nonetheless continue to accept cash and credit card payments, of course. Now, if you go on, they've got an official Instagram page, so it's bakeandmore.ae. They listed this today, so it's not a huge cafe, but it's more about the fact that a cafe is doing that, and it's one of the main reasons I actually like Dubai so much, because it's so at the kind of forefront of crypto technology and pushing crypto. You can buy houses, cars, coffees, sandwiches, whatever it may be, with crypto. And of course, it is 0% tax on capital gains. Therefore, you are simply, living off of profits, essentially, without having to pay any money to the government. So yes, you will start paying some other fees in terms of like a sorting fee or something like that. I can't think of the exact word, but there will be other fees that are included that will probably make up the fact that you don't get taxed. But let's just make it as 0% tax. It's better than we get anywhere else, therefore it's a win-win. So to quote the owner then, so our payment system does the conversion accordingly as it's linked to the price charts. For instance, a bottle of water is 5 dirham, so $1.36. The system divides the chart rate that we assume is 3.68 and calculates the cost based on 1.35 UST. So that's quite smart as well. And that will often be a question that people will ask, like, well, how much is it? Is it 0.000026 Bitcoin, or how do I transact and how do I pay it? So hopefully that clears it up. And that's what most places will do that does accept crypto, or some debit cards that you get. What they do is, it's not like crypto to crypto. So what it tends to be is, you can hold your crypto on one of these crypto debit cards, for example, but when you pay at the merchant, it automatically converts that crypto to dollars so that they then receive the dollars, if that makes sense. So some people do it that way, so you're still technically spending your crypto because to you it's held in crypto, but then it's spent or received by the merchant in dollars, whereas other merchants will fully accept crypto, like this company, and it will be crypto to crypto, and it's just converted by their own till. So quite interesting. And again, just it's not a huge deal for crypto, but I just like the fact that more and more companies are starting to do it. So it'd be quite nice as well. Imagine you worked there and you were a crypto enthusiast and you were getting tax-free crypto. Would be quite nice. Okay, moving on to some news that you may have kind of seen floating about on Twitter the past week. Elon Musk has been putting out numerous tweets regarding Twitter because obviously, as you all know, freedom of speech isn't largely available anymore on any platform. So Elon Musk is obviously quite a kind of an open talker, open speaker, is that the word I want to use? An open thinker, and has often been kind of pulled up by Twitter or Facebook or whatever it may be for his use of wording, use of memes, because Twitter is, well, it's not laid back, but you can almost get away with a little bit more on Twitter, simply because Instagram's more of an image sharing app, but also because Meta or Facebook or whatever you want to call them, they have like their AI bots reading Instagram consistently, hence why you can't really do much on Instagram anymore, hence why the algorithm's all over the place these days. But Meta and Instagram, I feel like are a bit more on it in terms of cancelling freedom of speech. Twitter's not far behind it though, don't get me wrong. If you remember, was it last year or the year before, Donald Trump famously got like banned. So the president of the US at the time got banned from Twitter. So there's a lot of things obviously not right with social media these days in terms of freedom of speech. But Elon Musk has been questioning his Twitter audience the past week regarding kind of what their thoughts are. So apparently, according to this news article and according to a few news articles then, Elon Musk is giving serious thought to creating a social media platform with free speech as top priority. So not everyone's pleased by that, but I will read on anyway, just so you get more of an understanding of what's going on. So the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, Mr. Elon Musk, has been discussing the need for a new social media platform on Twitter over the past couple of days. So, as I've mentioned, he has recently become more critical of Twitter and its policies, claiming that the social media platform is undermining democracy by failing to adhere to free speech principles. So I actually agree with that, to be fair. Replying to a question about whether he would consider building a new social media platform with an open source algorithm where free speech is given top priority and propaganda is minimised, Musk replied, "I'm giving this serious thought to this." So, look, it could happen. It could be possible. There's plenty of social media platforms been in the past and gone, and I'm sure there's room for more in today's world. And who else would be better to start it than one of the world's smartest men, Elon Musk. So the discussion then began with Musk putting up a Twitter poll on Friday, so I think it was this one here. Free speech is essential to functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? So, and then he's put this is what, I guess this part doesn't really mean too much, but then after kind of quote tweeting it, the consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. So obviously it gets people thinking, oh, what is he up to? Yeah. So it's a bit of a landslide. So quite clearly, people don't think that Twitter is doing very well. So quoting again Musk, given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to the free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done? So, what do you think? Drop in the comments below or in the live chat. Should there be a new social media? Do we need another one? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, is that the kind of main three? Are we happy with that? Or do we think that there should be more? I guess Discord is almost like a social media as well, and all these types of platforms. Discord is obviously a bit more freedom of speech, but it's not quite as social as, or quite the same setup, should I say, as Instagram. So yeah, let me know, what do you think? Is there a need for another social media, and should Elon Musk be the man to change that? Should he be the one to bring that to us? And will it just become, my question as well is, will it just become a bit of a free-for-all? I'd imagine, like it kind of quotes here as well, it says that it will be, where is it? It says, something about monetized or minimizing. Can't even find a word. There we go. Propaganda is minimized. So as long as it can do that, because I guess that's what a lot of the Twitter or the CEO of Twitter and the people behind Twitter are scared of, is the propaganda that people just, I mean, we've seen it before firsthand, people just spout absolute nonsense on social media. I think it's because the same old story, because someone's behind a phone or it's not in real life, they feel like they can get away with anything in terms of what they're posting on social media. We've seen it go for years and years and years, but propaganda has been a big thing the past few years anyway, especially with the C19 stuff. So I get the fact that there needs to be more freedom of speech. It would be great, rather than just seeing people being cancelled and whatever it may be, or banned. But it's the propaganda that could tip it over the edge. And then how do you decide what propaganda is, or whatever it may be? So someone's commented there in the chat, Elon Gram. So yeah, who needs Instagram when you've got Elon Gram? Look, it's completely possible. Again, I see there is a potential need for it, but there's a lot of soft people out there. So you just need to be very, very careful with what's going on there, because people are soft these days, man. So it's could be good. But anyway, moving on to huge news actually. So Terra has smashed by, so has bought $139 million worth of Bitcoin, and their wallet now reaches 31,000 Bitcoin. So insane. In fact, sorry, just someone else just commented there, which is quite interesting. There is one called Truth Social, which is backed by Trump, currently in the USA only. Very interesting. And it makes sense, actually, because like I said before, Trump was kind of put off social media. Same with guys like Alex Jones and stuff as well. They've been totally wiped off social media because of their outspoken and kind of freedom of speech. Anyway, back to this then. So 31,000 Bitcoin they've purchased. Now, watch out Michael Saylor. So everyone knows, in fact, I do have a post I'm going to cover next about Michael Saylor, but Do Kwon, the CEO of Terraform Labs, is hot on the heels of MicroStrategy's CEO. The Terra wallet has now amassed almost $1.5 billion worth in Bitcoin, following another huge BTC purchase. So the wallet address that thought to belong to Terra, hasn't been officially confirmed, received 2.943 blah 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 Bitcoins, 139 million of it on Wednesday. And this came from one of these wallet alerts. So you probably see it, whale alert on Twitter. You probably see it quite often. That just essentially tracks any large movements on the blockchain of most crypto, but especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there was a part, I think it might have been a tweet that I'd seen, but Do Kwon, so the kind of owner, this guy here, he's said that he wants to become the largest holder of Bitcoin after Satoshi. So yeah, amazing to see. I've only just not recently, but I guess more recently than not, became aware of Do Kwon and how legendary he is. He is quite a boss, to be honest. So it's cool to see, and the fact that he's saying that he wants to become the largest holder. It's quite, I mean, that might not really mean anything to you in terms of whatever it may be, but when you've got big players like Michael Saylor, who are obviously amassing as many Bitcoin as possible, all these big rich players, they all play against each other. So the fact that he's come out and said, I want to be the largest holder after Satoshi, that'll then wind up people like Michael Saylor to then buy even more Bitcoin, and then it just kind of almost, I don't know, it's like a game to them, and it's like hundreds of millions, or in this case billions. Doesn't really matter too much to them. It's I wouldn't say it's chump change, but it's definitely affordable, hence why they're throwing so much at it. So yes, he was buying it then to kind of to peg his stablecoin to it. So Terra USD, so UST, an algorithmic stablecoin, would be pegged to the value of the US dollar, and the value of these dollars would be backed by the Bitcoin reserves. So Terra's native token, Terra Luna, so again, obviously I spoke about that back here, so Terra Luna, will also play a role in the creation of the stablecoin, and that'll be why we've seen Luna do so well recently, because of all the chat of what's going on. So it's up, I'm pretty sure that's an all-time high actually for Luna. Yeah, it is. So an all-time high set for Luna, and majority of it is coming off the back of what's going on here in the background while they're buying so much Bitcoin. So the reserves, people know the company isn't going to go to zero essentially, because they have these reserves. They're not going to go bust anytime soon if they've got that much Bitcoin sitting. So it fills investors' head with confidence, and yeah, it's just good to see. So that's quite a huge news story. I don't think, and I mention this quite a lot, to try and tie narratives to prices. Price action hasn't been, I mean, considering he's bought 139 million in Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price hasn't really done much, and I guess it kind of further goes to show that I don't feel like, or I've said this many times, but I don't feel like just because there's positive news means that the price needs to be positive, if that makes sense. It needs to go up. A lot of it can be buy the rumour, sell the news. A lot of it's just, well, majority of it is just charts, and it's just the way the charts behave. But it is quite nice sometimes to try and tie some narratives to make yourself feel a bit better to why the price is going down, or why the price is going up, or why the price just isn't doing anything. So maybe this is a kind of positive news story that's helped the price stay where it is. So obviously we've had this great run up in Bitcoin. It hasn't really come down that much, maybe like $1,000 if that, but it has kind of kept its way back up to kind of 47,500. So could it be because they've bought so much, it's kind of looking like it's kind of holding a little bit more? Who knows? It's hard to say exactly what's going on in crypto. It's a 2.3 almost $1 trillion market cap, so it's not always up to someone like me to say, oh, this is why it's happening. And that's an important part, because we often get asked, or people will DM us on Instagram or stuff and say, why is this coin performing, or why did that just move 20%, or like, see, obviously we want to know why, but at the same time, the chances are you don't know why. Other times it's just because the charts decided that it was time to go. It was at a crucial level, it was at support, it was at resistance, whatever it may be, and it's either bouncing to the downside or to the upside, or it was just due to happen. There's not always going to be a narrative to fit the price movements, which to some people's kind of, I guess, annoyance, because people are just so drummed in and think, well, if there's positive news, that means that the price must move. Not always. It's just tying narratives to these things. So yeah, hopefully that helps anyone that does messages on Instagram. Feel free to message us and we'll get back to you if we can answer the question. But 9 times out of 10, if it's something like, why is this coin pumping, and you haven't heard anything, there isn't going to be any news articles for it, unfortunately. Just take it and run. Just be happy. Just be happy that the coin is pumping. That's the main thing. Okay, right, let's move on to the Michael Saylor news then. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so Silvergate issues a Bitcoin collateralized loan to MicroStrategy, and it was a $205 million loan that can be used to purchase more Bitcoin or for general corporate purchases. But man like Saylor will be, as you can see here, laser eyes. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the whole laser eye movement, but Saylor has his laser eye in, and will he buy more Bitcoin? So Silvergate Bank then has issued a $205 million loan to MicroStrategy's subsidiary MicroStrategy, allowing the company to buy more Bitcoin. So the interest-only term loan is secured in Bitcoin held in MicroStrategy's collateral account. In addition to allowing the company to purchase more Bitcoin, the loan may be used to pay expenses related to the loan transaction or for general corporate purposes. So again, I won't go into this too much detail because not much has really happened. The reason I wanted to bring it to your attention is because we all know by now Michael Saylor loves to press that smash button when it comes to buying Bitcoin. To back that point up then, so MicroStrategy bought 10,300 Bitcoin during the fourth quarter of 2021 for an average price of 57,000, so not doing too well, following a capital raise through the firm's at-the-market equity offering. And then they purchased an additional 660 Bitcoin between December 30th and January 31st for around 25 million in cash at 37,000. So up from here. So I think his average buy is like 28 or maybe 30. Doesn't say on here. But I think they've got quite a good average buy, and they hold. Did they not hold something like 100,000? I can't even remember now, but I'm sure they hold over 100,000. Oh, there we go. So MicroStrategy's last reported that it was holding 125,051. Can't forget the 51. 125,051 Bitcoin, which were acquired for nearly 3.8 billion. So nuts, absolute nuts. But yeah, so the reason I'm bringing it to your attention is, like I said, we all know that they are large holders of Bitcoin, and if you ever watched any kind of interview or any just kind of video related to Michael Saylor and Bitcoin, you'll know that how bullish he is in the space. He was originally the man who got Elon Musk on board, or potentially it was the person who got Elon Musk on board back last summer or just before the summer. And Michael Saylor's kind of pushing everyone in terms of or who he can in the business point of view to go for Bitcoin. So there was a good interview with Pomp, which I spoke about on live probably like 6 months ago now, but go check that out. It will still be on Pomp's channel, on his YouTube channel, and it's like a 45-minute interview, but go watch it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of ones to watch with Michael Saylor, and they're all very similar in terms of how bullish he is for the space, but I just particularly quite enjoy Pomp's interview style and his setup, so go check it out. Right, so moving on to the next port of call then. Big MetaMask news. So, our MetaMask and Apple news, shall we say. So, MetaMask then. So hopefully majority of you either have heard of MetaMask and or use MetaMask as well as your extension wallet. So MetaMask rolls out Apple Pay integration and other iOS updates. So starting with iPhone users, if you're a Samsung user, question yourself, should you not be moving? I'm joking, I won't even go into that conversation. I feel like it's only right though as soon as you mention any differences between iPhone and Samsung, or Android for that point. So starting with iPhone users, MetaMask is adding integrations with payment gateways on its mobile wallet to increase options for buying crypto. So CoinSensus-owned MetaMask tweeted a thread of updates on Tuesday for iPhone and Apple Pay users. The main feature is the ability to buy cryptocurrency using a debit or credit card through the mobile application, eliminating the need to transfer Ether from a centralized exchange like Coinbase into the application. So that's actually huge news. The reason for that is it cuts out a step, basically. So I actually had a consultation call with someone this week who was asking about kind of moving money around and buying things on like Uniswap and whatever. Obviously, you need to go to MetaMask and then use MetaMask in your Uniswap. So I had explained and spoke through you need to move money. So for example, move money from your bank account onto Swissborg, then from Swissborg exchange that British pounds into Ethereum or USDT or whatever it may be, then send that over to your MetaMask. Then when you're on MetaMask, go to Uniswap, then do the swap. So there was like 4 or 5 steps just to get money from your bank account or from your phone over to your MetaMask account. So there's Mitch in the chat, shout out to Mitch. But yeah, so there was a lot of steps from moving things over into MetaMask, but now, as we've quite clearly seen, MetaMask will now work with your phone or with Apple Pay. So it cuts out the kind of errors, because that's where people can lose some money as well, which is always an issue. So people can potentially lose their crypto sending it from exchange to exchange. If you are quite a new person to the space, which a lot of people will be that's watching this, then it can be quite daunting moving crypto around. So this is huge. This is a huge update for me personally. I think this is a huge update, and hopefully you feel the same. So again, just to kind of reiterate then, MetaMask uses 2 payment gateways currently, so it's Wire and Transact, to support debit card and credit card transactions. users can now use their Visas and MasterCards stored on Apple Pay to buy ETH and deposit a daily maximum of $400 into their wallets. So I know $400 is not a huge amount to some people, but it's kind of crawling before they kind of walk, essentially. So they have to obviously test this before they kind of up the limits, but I'm pretty certain that they will up the limits at some point. Okay, so Mitch is saying they're actually got to get a live Bitcoin ticker. We do. We're actually trying to up the stream quality as well. So maybe when you're over, you can give us some hints and some tips, Mitch, because we'll get to your level at some point on streaming. But we're bringing the previous IGTVs, we're bringing them to the YouTube page now and trying to grow. So we will eventually get the stream looking peak, looking good. So again, like I said, quite big news, or I would think so anyway. Hopefully, if you are a kind of relatively new user to MetaMask and you feel like sending crypto around is quite not difficult but quite daunting, then hopefully this kind of helps out a little bit. Okay, so moving on to some tweets. So another kind of 10-15 minutes of some tweets, and then we'll finish up today's stream. Let's see, so what else we got going? Any news on a MetaMask airdrop yet? I haven't heard anything more, unfortunately, but as soon as we do, we shall let you know. And Mitch, I respect that, thank you very much. It's, to be honest, we're trying to find what we should put on the stream and what we should chat about on the stream. We're just kind of finding our feet a little bit, but yeah, any help is appreciated. Okay, so first of all then, so many of you will know we recently spoke about Genzo Kishi. So we brought this to members end of January. Yeah, end of January, and it done 100x. So congratulations to anyone that did. Or first of all, congratulations if you were in Discord at that point. And secondly, if you managed to buy Genzo Kishi on Bybit. So that was a project that we brought, and like I said, done 100x over the course of like 2 weeks, I think it was. So exciting. But the reason I wanted to bring this to your attention is they are doing Ask Me Anything with Crypto Slate, and it's happening tomorrow. So tune in for that if you are interested to find out more about what's going on with Genzo Kishi. And yeah, it might not be a big project that obviously it's a play to earn game. You might not play it yourself, but as an investment, you still want to know what's going on with the project. And of course, we will update you as much as possible in Discord about that. But if you do fancy asking a question to the team, then feel free to join tomorrow. Quite interesting. And that goes for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. If you are interested in buying Genzo Kishi, you can get it on Bybit. If you don't have a Bybit account, make sure that you're checking out our Linktree and our Discord for the link to a Bybit account. Okay, next then, I guess big news again, and it's coming from Pomp, simply because obviously you know we are big fans of Ripple and XRP, of course, but Pomp famously is not a huge fan of Ripple and XRP, quite like a lot of people, but nonetheless, he tweeted out today that he's interviewing the co-founder, Chris Larsen. So he's tweeted here then, I'm interviewing Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen tomorrow. Everything is fair game. We'll discuss what we agree and disagree about, and what questions do you have for him. So a very interesting interview, I would imagine. Pomp, like I said, I've followed Pomp for years, like what he does, like his interview techniques and the way he's set up, but because he's not a huge fan of Ripple and XRP and he's going to be interviewing Chris Larsen, I'm kind of like, where's this going to go? But he has said everything is fair game, so we shall see. So look out for that. I don't know when the interview will be live. I'd imagine it'll be out quite quick, so I would imagine he's got it turned around maybe the day of the interview or the day after. So yeah, just wanted to bring that to your attention because I think it is quite interesting. Right, now if you joined us last week on Wednesday's live stream, you would have known that I covered off a few companies that could potentially be interested in crypto, and it makes sense for these companies to be interested in crypto. Uber was one of those companies. So it was Uber, eBay, and can't remember the last one, but it was three big names, but Uber and eBay were definitely up there. So Uber's CEO is just, again, it's just a kind of quote, has stated, crypto has demonstrated to be a real store of value. So again, doesn't mean a huge amount, but the fact that the Uber CEO has crypto in his mouth is good enough for me. And it gets pretty much everyone, I guess, speaks now about crypto and speaks highly of crypto. Going back 3, 4, 5 years, people didn't speak as highly about crypto, so it is positive to see big companies like Uber even bringing it to their attention, or our attention, much like Apple did quite a few months back. So yeah, very interesting to see that. Last week I said that we're expecting something from Uber and maybe the likes of eBay, and then a week later there's an interview with the CEO and he has quoted this. So very, very interesting. Next then, so a kind of survey from Grayscale. So anyone doesn't know Grayscale, they are the largest kind of digital asset investor in the US. So Grayscale survey recently stated that every 1 out of 4 US investors currently own Bitcoin. It's quite a large portion. Doesn't mean that they've got one Bitcoin. They could have 0.000002. However, in fact, yeah, someone's actually just noticed. Someone's actually said that. But yeah, it's true. At least they've got it. At least they've got an active account potentially. At least they've heard of it, and it's probably more than that. It's probably every 2 in 4, every 3 in 4 has probably at least heard of crypto, whether it's directly or indirectly. So word is spreading as we know. But yeah, very, very interesting. And then to kind of finish up then, we've got the fear and greed. Let me just see what Stefan has said here. So holding out for BiDAO, do you think it could still rocket after their update on the 1st, if that's the date, hoping for 100x? So I mean, look, it's completely possible with BiDAO. They've been quite quiet over the past 2 years. We have stated reasons why we believe they have been quite quiet, and then why the past week they've not been so quiet, I guess, to put it quite bluntly. So they came out last week and stated that in around 10 days they have a huge update going live, and it's one of their, I think it's a new DApp that they are or they're going live with. So go check out the Discord post on that if you are a Discord member. We did break that down in a bit of detail. And if you don't know what BiDAO is, again, there's a full breakdown in the coin breakdown section if you are interested to learn more on that. But yeah, look, it seems to have performed quite well recently. Simply a kind of what we think is a bit of a buy the rumour, sell the news almost. So bringing the chart up, let's have a look. Even just, in fact, let's just do the 1 month, that's probably easiest. So over the past month, look, it's not really done much for over the month. The news came out around here, it pumped, and then the kind of, I guess someone took profit, or someone's moved some of their assets out, so obviously the price has corrected. So completely normal, buy the rumour, sell the news, but let's see what comes from the BiDAO camp over the next few days. It would be nice if it was the 1st, but yeah, any more updates, don't worry, we will keep you up to date. But BiDAO is looking very positive for the next few months anyway, simply based on their activity. Now they are quite quiet on social media the whole time, and it's because Bastien and the team are, as you would have seen from the last update, have been coding in the coding cave. Essentially, they've been locking themselves away, coding and making sure that their token in their project is perfect, essentially. So that's why we don't hear a lot from them, and why the price doesn't do too much. But yeah, let's hope and pray that we get some price movement over the coming months. Okay, so fear and greed then. Let me just update this again because it's been lying open for a bit of time. So we have seen quite a high number on the Fear and Greed index. Now we're sitting in 55, which is greed. Look at last month, we're down at 20, which is extreme fear. Now, obviously, as you know, it's buy the fear, sell the greed. That's kind of how it goes normally. And that's hopefully what most of you have done, because as much as the Fear and Greed index is a good sentiment analysis, you kind of feel how the market is anyway. If you're involved in crypto for a longish period of time, or even 6 months to a year, you do tend to go through the emotions and feel the ups, the downs, the ups, the downs, the ups, the downs, because that tends to be how crypto moves quite frequently, up and down, and in large swings. So you've probably felt either extreme fear, and you've probably felt greed, or maybe even extreme greed. But yeah, if you were buying last month, obviously it goes without saying, I've already spoke about the prices over the past few months and how we've broken out of like 3 months downtrends on a lot of these projects. So it is exciting to see, obviously, but just obviously be wary of buying when it's greed, or just before you click that smash button and buy, just make sure that you're comfortable with the amount that you're investing in. Obviously, nothing I'm saying here is any type of financial advice. I'm just trying to make it clear how the fear and the greed works. But if it is greed, that tends to be that the price has already climbed up and it's already at a high price or higher price. Whereas if it's an extreme fear, it's down at these lows, so there's a potential chance that it's going to go higher. So it's just, like I said, you tend to find the Fear and Greed, you just get it yourself, you understand where the sentiment is going. But it's always good to check on these Fear and Greed indexes as well, just to get a better understanding of where the market is. If you're maybe the type of person who invests in crypto and doesn't look at it every single day, every other day, if you buy and hold and look over it maybe weekly, monthly, then maybe you're not so in touch with the market. So maybe it's beneficial for you to check out market sentiment analysis, or even just tune into these live streams every week and see what our sentiment is and take it from there. So anyway, look out for your kind of self when you are buying. That goes without saying. And for anyone that has followed us in the Discord for a while, you'll understand when we are buying and when we are selling. And if we are doing any trades, then you'll know what we're trading, why we're trading it, is it up, is it down, and so on and so forth. Right, that will be me for today's live stream. I just wanted to thank everyone again for tuning in. It's again, every single Wednesday without fail, this will be a public live stream. We do have a members Discord with way over 2,000 members now that get a private live stream on a Monday. So if you are interested in that, tune in, or first of all sign up, but then tune in on a Monday from about the same time. It does vary sometimes, but we always keep you up to date on when that is. And it's with Asim, so different team member at Crypto Glasgow, who goes into more detail of prices, more into trading. He will take any kind of requests that you have for any kind of projects that you want to speak about. It's a bit more in depth compared to a Wednesday night, which is just the news sentiment, or news section rather. I feel like I've used the word sentiment too much. The news section on a Wednesday. But yeah, anything else you do need us for, like I said, check us out on our website. Simply Google Crypto Glasgow, it will show up, or ccgla.co.uk. Also check us out on Instagram, which is just crypto.glasgow, as well as Facebook, Crypto Glasgow, as well as Twitter at Crypto Glasgow 1. Just make sure you're following the correct one, because we've got a little one at the end on our Twitter. But yeah, that's all for now. If there's anything you do need from us in terms of where we buy our crypto, where we sell our crypto, where we trade, how to access Discord, anything, Bybit, you name it, make sure you're clicking either the link from our Instagram bio, which I've just done there, or you can even check out our website. So we've got products and services, useful links, members Discord, whatever it may be. Make sure you're checking them out, because there's a chance that you'll get something for not for free, but I guess you do. You get a reward. That's probably a better way to put it. You'll get a reward for using each of these links, so make sure you check them out if you are interested. Okie doke, well, thank you so much. Like I said, I will see you all next week And yeah, stay safe, stay humble, and we shall chat soon. Bye bye. It's not even ended. I'm still here. Usually